That's fine.
Hang on. I'm trying to think of my commands. Right.
Dylan, did Betsy tell you about the fancy Roll20 command she got going?
I have not heard.
What is
Yeah,
it?
you won't have to.
Okay. Awesome.
She can do it reckless and with great weapon master. So
Alright. So she can just one click and make sure it's going.
Yeah, because like what was really annoying is like rolling with advantage. With it, I have to like, and especially rolling twice with advantage is like to get it to work, like to get it so like it actually does great weapon master. I have to like go up and click it, and it just wouldn't do that. And so like this is much easier now.
All good.
Is the +6 -5 just a fancy way of getting to +1?
+1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I have +6 on my attacks, but -5 with like
great weapon master.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Silky's flame tongue, great act.
All right. So when we ended last session, you all had been talking before going to rest at the Proprietary Mansion, so you all can go ahead and take a long rest. Would anyone like to do the recap while everyone goes back to full health?
You got it coming. I don't have my notes up.
You got it coming.
Sam takes notes. How can I ever compete with him on a recap? But I guess last session, most of it occurred within the span of a minute or two. We had entered the chamber with Keston, who was holding Silky's family and other various furbolgs hostage, with a scary Hydra monster chained up in the middle, who was in turn released and basically given free reign to start chomping on Silky's family. So we decided to put a stop to that. Keston was there, but he was not really attacking us. He was just trying to, I guess, taunt us some. So everyone kind of did their own thing. Vinny made a duplicate who ran in the middle. Silky and Warden went in and attacked a little and started freeing prisoners. Rockgut transformed into a giant. Is the purple ape canon, or is that just a picture?
It's canon.
It's canon. Okay, he has a little hat on. He made a run around the edge for Keston. We ended up freeing most of the hostages except for two, I believe, who were unfortunately chomped upon. We killed the monster. Keston escaped via a dimension door. Morteza showed up not that much later, but it felt like a lot later, with a new friend in tow that has sparked a bit of controversy in the group. A reanimated corpse of one of Keston's henchmen, I guess, that Rockgut has taken a particular disliking to. So we'll have to see how that turns out. Everybody in the family survived, except someone had gone missing. Young Lace, who was the magic user, had escaped into the tunnel, forcing the gang to go running after her down a dark, empty tunnel. Had some trouble finding her, but eventually we found her in the clutches of not a night hag, but some other hag-ish entity who spoke in riddles to us, gave off bad vibes, etc. Offered more riddles in exchange for probably something bad to happen. But we let her go peacefully. We reclaimed the family and escaped out. Returned to the Profaci Manor, different from the Bitcoin brothel. Spoke with him for a bit. And are kind of at a crossroads now of what to do. That's it.
Pretty good.
Betsy, your hair looks magnificent today.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you all had gone to sleep after a little bit of discussion. and it for a long rest, you would have had to have slept until about 9:30 in the morning, so a little bit later in the morning. Not the early start that you often get on the day. And as you all begin to leave your rooms, Ricky Profashi will be waiting for y'all, having done somewhat of a quiet stare down with Warden, who's been getting his rest, but mostly staying out in the halls as opposed to in the rooms. I've moved y'all up to a little bit north of the map. And he'll, with a smile, say, Mr. Profoshi's waiting upstairs. You all ready to come and finally have that chat with him? I advise not keeping him waiting much longer. Some time is being burnt that we don't really have much of left.
All right, lead on.
Sorry.
I'll like whisper to Rocket, be like, "We already said sorry for missing lunch yesterday, right? Did we apologize for that?"
Yeah, we mentioned it. It
We
was
did. Okay.
understandable. What had happened.
Okay.
Right, so
Honestly, it was a bit surprising for me. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to take missing a meeting too well, but he was agreeable.
Well, we may see the real reaction here shortly. Ugh.
if Ricky was overhearing any of this, I don't know. Y'all trying
No,
to
he
do
was
it
not. I
quietly?
was saying it
Fair
very
enough.
quietly.
Fair enough. Morteza, I will say, as y'all begin to go up, is looking a little bit antsy and is going to mention, I need to go check on my zombie. You think I can duck away from this? Would you all mind?
Uh, Sure. Do you have anything you want to say that we
No.
should relay
No,
for you?
I
No.
think I'll go now.
Okay.
Any of y'all want to join me?
Rock gut.
No,
I think you want to go.
no, I'll stay right here.
Okay. He's gonna leave then.
What? We'll send Saul Rose with him.
Y'all's call.
Keep-
If you want to,
Sure,
I'm giving you the
sure,
opportunity to be like, someone can go check and see how Morteza does with the zombie, or you can get rid of Solros here if you don't want to deal with the two people that are active.
Soros can be curious about
He can be the bodyguard.
Yeah,
All right.
like
they both get kidnapped this time.
It can't
They are
happen.
going back to the warehouse then that you were at last night.
the two strongest members of the party.
Ricky
Oh,
is-
they're going to the warehouse?
Yes, they are.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would go then. Never mind.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, then I'm gonna keep Solros here and send Warden.
Fine by me.
The warehouse should be empty when you left, Warden. So I mean, I wouldn't worry
Should be.
about that, but
Okay.
you are not going to
No,
be
no,
here for this Profashi conversation, is all.
I think he forgot the head of the witch. Or,
Yeah.
I think you
it's
got
a
it.
bodyguard.
I would
Okay.
say that you got it.
Okay, then I don't know if I would go.
I'll make the call right now. Either you
No, no, I'll stay with the
you're
group.
going or
I'll stay with
Solros
the
is
group.
gone.
I'll stay with the group.
All right, that's fine. He brings you all upstairs, where you were able to sit down before Mr. Profashi, before stepping out. You see where I've moved your tokens to now?
Yeah.
Great.
Are we gonna have music, Sam, or is that not possible on this
I'm
setup?
working on it.
I was just
So-
asking in a polite way. I didn't mean that.
No, no, no. Because I was literally just thinking about it.
I heard someone new pop in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, it's GroovyBot."
All right. So Mr. Profashi, who sat behind his desk, has been doing some work this morning. Looks a little bit tired. May not have slept much last night. It's hard to say. And as you all enter, he sits up straight and gives you all a nod, waiting for you to get comfortable. So, your family is safe now. Hope that is taken a help put your mind somewhat at ease.
It has. I can't help but think, we were able to stop them this time, but what about the next? How do we know someone ain't gonna come back and try to take them?
A valid concern. I will assure you that they are safe while they are here with me. But I cannot speak to the dangers in the world at large.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. Is I know y'all take real good care of them here, but you know, with my family still in the forest and leaving them alone, I just don't know. Have we had issues with people coming and taking slaves like this in the past?
Are you asking him, or are you trying to remember in character if that's been an issue for your people specifically?
No, asking
Just in
him
general.
if, yeah, in general, this has happened. This family has this family in the past taken.
As I'm sure you know, hundreds of years ago it was a constant. It was what these cities here were founded for. To help the Eberonians capture people and fuel the workforce of their empire. Recently, this is not something that has happened as much. I cannot speak to forest tribes and some smaller settlements, like the one you come from. But it is rare that they would touch upon human cities and towns in the manner that they have been.
Well, I guess my concern is, what can we do to stop them in the future? Us killing one of their people might do it, but
Maybe.
I'm just not sure what else is going to deter them.
That actually brings us to the main point, which I believe is stronger leadership and proper, the kind that the Free Marches and Kirkwall need. My concern is that Marlowe Dvamar is cutting deals, allowing this to happen to his people, even helping it to happen. And I believe the solution would be to replace him as leader and keep some of these plans of his from coming to fruition. I intend to do this, regardless. But it is time I had your answer now. I have put some of my plans on hold, as I believe it would be better done with your party acting and appearing to be the ones leading this charge and plan. But if that is not to be the case, then I will throw pretense aside and see it done now.
Well, you've helped us a great deal when we had a time of need, and going through this last round of combat or working through what we needed to get done. I think none of us want to have to do that again. And so if we can help you make this place better off for every person, whether they be high ranking or potentially under the chains of slavery, we would love to help out. And so we are available to help, whatever way you need.
With that being said, I don't know how good of a look it would be to have. How many of you aren't from here? Am I like the only one from the Free March? Okay, wait, seriously.
Yeah. You would be the only one in your party from the Free Marches.
I'm
sorry, no, Vinny is as well.
Free March rejects, right?
Yeah. I don't know how good of a look it would be to have a bunch of outsiders trying to take power away. It might be it could cause more pain for you down the future. What I'm trying to get at is how can we we want to assist indirectly. But it might make more sense and a little bit better for you if it's a more natural rebellion throughout the city and not just some foreigners coming in and trying to what might seem take power. You understand what I'm saying?
Of course. And
Yeah.
I do not wish to see you all take power.
Oh, no.
Nor do
No,
I
no.
wish to take it myself. In fact, my goal is to help the family that once ruled Kirkwall retake it. Ideally, taking it peacefully by having the leadership council with a great majority vote that they might supplant the Dumar family. And so
Do you
what I
think that
would
the
use
Dumar
you
family
all-
will take that in stride?
No,
No.
I'm sure they won't. Which is why we need a strong majority, and for it to be a powerful family that takes their place, so that any opportunity that they have to make trouble, to push back, is lessened.
What is your proposal to do so? Instead
I
of
would
vague.
I would have the Amels supplant Marlowe Dumar as Viscount once more, back into the position that they once held. The way that this would be able to be done properly, peacefully, ideally, would be that 6 out of 8 of the leadership council would have to vote for them to be replaced. 7 if it can be done. Marlowe Dumar would see the leadership council expanded to 10, with military branches added on to it. If these branches are added on to it, then we would need at least 8 to vote, and ideally both leadership branches backing the Amels, not the Dumars. This would ensure that anything Marlowe attempts to do can be put down forcefully and quickly.
How strong is the loyalty of the average citizen here to the Dumar family itself?
They are quite loyal, as they view the Dumar family as having spent a lot of time making the city a better, stronger place. But the citizenry is unlikely to rise up in rebellion themselves, especially if we have the armies behind the noble families and the newly proposed military for Kirkwall on our side, and especially if we might start a campaign of rumors that ultimately are telling the truth, hinting at what the Dumar family is allowing to happen, so that the tide of popular opinion might turn against them.
You mean like what happened yesterday?
I mean what happened yesterday and what they have been allowing the Graces to do in these marches. Does that make sense? I can't hear Sam or Betsy.
Oh, good bit.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
Can you hear us now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, to clarify, he wants to get rid of the Dumars on the council.
So I'll explain dropping character right now.
Okay.
Do y'all remember how the leadership council works at all? I can re-explain.
There's 8 families.
8
So-
spot.
It's divided up into 3 groupings, 8 spots in total. There is a noble portion, which is families. That's 3 spots in the council as nobles. 2 spots in the councils are merchant leaders. 3 spots are religious leaders. He wants to make a 4th group and add 2 more spots that would be military. Land and naval, essentially. That would be 10 total. If the Dumars get what they want. Mr. Profashi wants to either stop him from getting what he wants, or allow it to happen, but with the increased number of people in the council, sway the votes and convince the people that would take those positions, or replace the people that would take those positions, to vote for the ML family to take over as Viscount instead. So what y'all would be doing in this proposal is you would be trying to buy favors, going on quests, or making promises to either members that are on the leadership council or prospective members that you might try to have take on positions in the leadership council, replacing others, and get them to agree, like, yeah, we want the city to be run this way, we'll vote for the ML family. Does that make sense?
Seems like there's a lot of different avenues to try and go down and different approaches for each member of the council. Do you have some ideas of people in mind we should start looking at first while you start working on others?
Just to clarify, who is currently on the Noble Council? You have the Amels, the Dumars, and the Glory Binders. The Amels will doubtless be happy to vote for themselves, but you will never get Marlowe's son, who takes up a position on the council as well, to vote against him.
Of course.
I cannot speak to the Glory Binder family, but you all are familiar and friendly with the Hollingsworth family. They're close with the Amels, and I think that perhaps if you could get them reinstated to the leadership council, taking back their position from the Glory Binder family, that they might side with the ML family. Bryant and Udona of the merchant group I could work with, but again, I would rather some of these deals come through you all. I do not think it would be too difficult to sway him, but it would take some work. I cannot speak towards Janin. He is a merchant moved here from Gehenna. I do not know him well. I do not know what it would take to get him to vote for the ML family. But if he needed to be replaced, Drew Overment is another prospective leader that we have been working on building some relation with. He runs publication and press companies in Kirkwall and throughout the Marches. As for the religious groups, well, there you could, in theory, replace any of the head priests if you found a way for them to be taken out of their position or voluntarily step aside with any other priest of one of the major gods. So there would be a significant number of options. But I would recommend that you either try to sway the ones currently on the council, or focus on the ones with stronger followings and influence within the city. I do not have much insight into the religious leaders, I'm afraid. And the last point is, of course, the military. And I have a little table that I can send y'all this if it would help. The Band of the Red Iron is the mercenary group around which Marlowe Dumar plans to build a concentrated army. I do not know how strong his tie to them is, but I do not like this mercenary band. They have somewhat of a unscrupulous reputation. My preference would be that they get replaced. I think that it would not be overly difficult to get the leadership council on board to build an army around a different option than the Red Iron mercenaries. I think perhaps some notables would include the Band of the Hawk mercenary group, a mercenary group known as Krogoth's Fist, led by a great Goliath warrior Krogoth. They're smaller, powerful, not quite as experienced in army and major tactics as the Band of the Hawk, but good warriors. And if push came to shove, it might even be possible to use the Inquisition, fledgling though it is in Kirkwall. It has become very popular very fast, and building a military with them around it would be an option as well. Any of these would then replace the Red Iron's leader on the Leadership Council. For the naval portion, Thomas Cloudrunner has been nominated, and for my money, I do not know a better man than him to do the job. It is possible you might find another, but I would focus greatly on getting him on board and shifted towards the ML side, if possible.
Well, we did do a little bit of ground laying with a few of those people during the party. We were
Good.
able to attend recently.
I
I
will
know
tell you
Chris-
now, I think the most urgent is the military side. That will be decided before final votes, and if it can be confirmed that someone can replace especially the Red Iron, that would be what you want to move upon first.
Well, I imagine people in the military respect strength above all. And I don't know if I would be able to be the best person to curry favor, given this physique. So I'll have to leave that one up to maybe someone like you, Warden. Maybe you can lead, and Silky.
How about the one in the military?
You two can work together to spearhead our efforts there.
I have no problems with this.
I mean, it makes sense.
First steps, as I see it, would be to make the connection with the ML family. I want you all to try to approach them and propose this as though it were your idea. That you believe that they would do a better job of leading Kirkwall into prosperity and keeping it out of the clutches of slavers and tyrants like the Graces.
Seems like a pretty easy story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
You think they have a strong commitment against slavery like you do? I don't know them very well, honestly, but
I think that the MLs miss being in power. Over.
Were the emails ever in
Kirkwall.
power
They
beforehand?
were. So the MLs were in power when Kirkwall gained independence. The ML family was the original Viscount.
Okay.
The Dumar family took over because the heir perspective from the MLs was an adventurer that was thought lost and dead when his father passed away, and so the Dumars took on the Viscount role because they thought he was gone, basically, and that the ML family was no more. He eventually returned to Kirkwall and is the ancestor of the current patriarch, father really just of the current patriarch of the ML family. So technically they have the original claim to the Viscount position in Kirkwall. And what Mr. Profashi thinks is basically that they want that power back, one, that they would likely jump at the opportunity to take it from the Dumars. And he also, his personal opinion on having done work with them is that they are less likely to make these sorts of deals with the Dumar family, and he thinks that the Dumar family is trying to become a tyrant family that would take all of the free marches, not just Kirkwall, which he doesn't think the ML family is as likely to do.
Makes sense.
so when speaking with them, we should still be focusing on tempting them with power rather than morality, I guess, right? Is what you're saying? Even though they are less likely
I
than...
think power is what will sway him personally to agree to this plan. As for why you approach, morality is probably the correct answer. I do believe that he does not hold the same desires for complete domination of the free marches that Mr. Dumar holds, and I do not think he will go to the lengths of working with the Graces in the way the Dumars have. But he is a greedy man as well, and I think he will be enticed by the position. His son has some nobility in him. Marlowe is an old man. Even if he takes Kirkwall and is selfish for a time, I think that perhaps Cullen will surprise you all as a young, just leader.
And what ends up happening to the Damar family at the end of this? Are they exiled? Are they... What?
That is not something I am concerning myself with. I wish to see them out of the Viscount position. If they dig in their heels, work with the Graces, and attempt to rebel, especially if the vote goes through with an overwhelming majority, perhaps they will be exiled or killed. If they step down graciously, perhaps they will keep their position on the Leadership Council. I am uninterested in either outcome. I merely wish to see him out of the Viscount's seat.
I just worry since we recently did give the Grace family a reason to, oppose us that they did not have 24 hours ago.
If you got involved in this and it runs counter to the Graces' desires, whatever their machinations in Kirkwall may be, I think you will find that they have a reason to oppose you regardless.
I tend to find that those in power find a way to land on their feet when deposed to at least some of it. So
We
may
that as well.
Keston is still free, and I am sure he will find us eventually.
better to be working with the Viscount than with
Agreed.
those who want to be the Viscount.
If this plan works, you will quickly find yourself aligned with the second most powerful family in Kirkwall, and you will be creating them, or I should say, turning them into the most powerful family. If you can do that, Keston will have difficulty reaching you. But while he sits in the good graces of the Dumars, and they are the strongest, that is when you have cause to fear.
We want to protect ourselves, Silky's family, and anybody else we love. This is the best path forward.
As long as
I'm
you
in.
wish to stay in Kirkwall, it is. Good. Then I recommend that you quickly approach the Hollingsworth and get in contact with the Amell family and explain your proposition to them. And focus then on finding a proposed replacement for the Red Iron military. That would be the most worthy first step in this quest. I think that if you can get this underway, and you need to then take some time to return Silky's family to her home, you will be in a good position to do so, and will have bought yourself the time needed to return and begin to influence other members of the Leadership Council.
Lay the foundation.
Exactly.
Well, no better time than the present to start doing a little treason.
All
I
right.
appreciate the help you've given us, Mr. Provaci, and looking forward to turning the world upside down with you.
Yes, it will be a tumultuous time in Kirkwall. We must be careful that we ride the tides to the proper position. For now, I will watch over the members of your family. They will stay safely here with me until they have regained their strength and you all are ready to return them to their home.
Much appreciated.
Let me know if you do need anything else. I will also be willing to assist with funds to the degree that it is focused on this endeavor, which we find ourselves tied to.
And you as well.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning. If you will excuse me, I have a lunch errand I must begin to prepare for.
I hope that plan doesn't fall through like yesterday.
I'll elbow Rock Gut and start walking out.
He's got like a small smile on his face as you begin to leave the room. All right, I'm gonna roll real quick to see if Morteza can get his zombie back.
Oh boy.
Yeah, what are
Yeah, I was texting Chris about this, and I was like, okay, so you left it in the warehouse. He's like, yeah, just left it in the warehouse to eat people. I was like, so let me get this straight. You left it in a warehouse on the docks just until the morning. A zombie just eating bodies.
He's just like decomposing them, I guess.
And you're just not worried about like any guards or anything stopping by. Y'all didn't lock that warehouse.
Nobody else cares that there's a zombie in the harbor. Somehow I'm the bad guy.
I mean, can it affect other people?
Technically, they were already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
If anything, it stops our foes from using resurrection and then coming back after us.
Yeah. Let us know if you can hear Betsy's chewing.
okay.
Oh, we can, but it is okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Quietly.
Alright, so they haven't found it. Where's Salrose? They're nearby.
Connor, do you think Vinny's going to want to lead the charge with the religious leaders? Try and get them on our side?
Yeah, I was thinking about like how we could do that, like, because we obviously have a connection with Bryant. We could explore me and you together, but
Yeah.
me and Warden could probably handle the religious leaders.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if Warden's religious
priest.
leader is interested in that, though. He might not be, but
Yeah.
So, just to clarify, which religious leaders are currently on the Leadership Council, there's the Leader of Justice, which is, you met her, Silky, you spoke with her. It is Tarwin Jordith. She is, the god of justice. She leads a group of paladins. And she is on the Leadership Council. Aside from that, it is the High Priestess of Mara of Cultivation, who is Mastria Kalat. I don't believe anyone spoke with her. And then it is Lohik Cross. He is the High Priest of Dominion of Tenebrae is the name of the god. And he is the one that Rockgut didn't speak with, saw Janin and some of the younger nobles speaking with. Thought he recognized the voice but couldn't place it at the time. And the way it's going to work mechanically is it's going to be essentially like little chapters where you can go one or two of you or as a group, and you might need to do a quest for these people. You might need to make a promise for political or power or money or something, and see what you can do really to get their interest, their motivation in helping you. Or you may find that there's nothing you can do to get them to help you, and you need to find a way to replace them.
Murder.
Sure, that's one you could start murdering high officials of the city. That's definitely something you could do. They would have to be replaced if they were dead.
it will not be suspicious at all to whoever family's in charge.
No, Albie.
So, what do y'all want to do? with that being said, where do y'all want to go today? What do you want to try to accomplish in the city? You basically have up to a week or so, the things that you can focus on accomplishing in the city before the furbolgs are for sure good to go. You could only wait a couple days if you think they're strong enough and try to move them out of the city if there was something else calling you out there. But you have some time. He has asked that you move at least quickly to speak to the MLs. But for some of these other activities, your time is yours.
Well,
I will also say one last thing, which is rock gut. You noticed this in the morning as you woke up. The bedroom that you were in had an array of tinkering tools that looked like they had seen a good bit of use of someone that was likely doing something similar to what you have some experience and some expertise in.
all right.
They weren't set out. They weren't set out for you, as far as you can tell, but you were borrowing the bedroom of someone.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind and drop a line about it. We have a minute. Whoops. Silky, you might know this. What's the proper procedure for getting in contact with the noble family, setting up a lunch date? Do we just go by their house, see if they're around?
Well, you might want to. We can potentially reach out to the ones we know, but the ones that we might not know, we'll probably need to ask for an audience.
Well,
Dylan, does that sound good?
That does. That's correct. And I would say that Silky would. I mean, it was just discussed. The Hollingsworth and the MLs are close.
Yeah.
And you are close with the Hollingsworth. They might also be
Yeah,
able to
that's
help you get an audience or help you get an expedited audience. What a cute poodle. Margot.
Yeah. So that white one is Margot's dad, and this is.
I thought Margot wasn't
dad.
here.
Wait, that's
No,
not
this is
Margot?
Margot's older brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Margot.
He is like 20 pounds heavier than her.
Well,
You
know,
tell
he's a
by the
big
way
guy.
that it's a big boy.
You can tell he's a big guy because of the way he is.
You big Al. You're big Al.
Well, step one seems like we need to go talk with the MLs. So, unless they know who you are, so we need to, I guess, work with the Hollingsworths to make sure they see us sometime this month.
Okay, so you want to speak with the Hollingsworth family?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Is there any other business that any of y'all would like to get up to in the day?
Warden would go for the fighting pit.
Do you want to
if he
separate
knew.
from that, or do you want to all go do this and then deal with the other things afterwards?
Do you think does Rocket think that his figurine is ready to show off, or does it still need some more work?
The ugly harpy figurine is pretty much good to go. You could try to add like a little bit of polish and shine on it, as it's rough. It's an early prototype.
Sure.
You could try to remake it with potentially some better material so that it looks a little bit better. Now that you know what you need to do to make it, you could also just show that prototype. It's your call.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say that you're confident that now that you've done it, you could do it again and make it look a little bit better, or at least make it like, so there's like some signs of scratches, some wear around the edges from when you were trying to make sure that the pieces all fit together, and now that you've done it once, you think that with the right materials, you could make it a more presentable version.
Gotcha.
While still maintaining that core ugliness that the ugly harpy is meant to have.
True.
I'll stick with Warden to go to the fighting pits today.
Okay. So, Warden, as you all begin to exit, you would see Ricky Profashi, who you know has done some work and is someone that you've heard loves the fighting pits quite well, and might be able to help you with that.
Is that our turn right now?
Hmm?
Ricky, were you able to get me a slot in the fighting pits?
Of course. If you want to enter the pits, normally it's 50 gold, or you may work with a sponsor family. It's normally nobles or merchants that sponsor fighters. But since we are in business together and we've enjoyed some times, we can waive that fee for you.
That would be appreciated, as Vinny is,
We would be
how
acting
shall I
as
say,
your sponsor.
tight with the money. Yes.
Well, if we, as we would be your sponsor, then we would ask in good faith that you keep your betting, especially on yourself, relatively low, or avoid doing it entirely. And we're happy to have you fight, and you will be winning prize money in our fighting pits, but there's no need to be taking more from the house when we're not charging you anything for it, if you know what I mean.
That seems fair.
Good to hear. Did you have someone in mind that you wanted me to try to get you set up with for a first fight, or you just want to do some exhibition bouts?
I have no preference as of right now. I need to find the High Priest of Savas eventually, but knowing our God, he will show himself when he feels fit.
The High Priest of Savas. Oh, that's an interesting contender. Let me find his name in my notes real quick.
Forgot his name.
Hey, Vinny, I'm gonna probably stick with Warden today. Seems like you two could probably handle the meeting with the noble family a little bit better than us. So
That makes sense.
if
I
anything,
understand.
if anything
As you
comes
know,
up, free to whisper in my ear. I'll let you know how it's going.
So, you want to fight Vaughn, the High Priest of Savas. We can get word out to him, and we could probably have something set up. Get to verse him either tonight or tomorrow. It would be need to be a night fight when we have a bit of a stronger customer base. Vaughn has enjoyed his time in our pits, and he shows his face quite often. He's a bit of a showman. Likes the crowd to be able to see him fight, and the crowd loves to watch him fight as well.
I do not need to fight him immediately, just eventually.
Alright, well, I can get you slated for a fight tonight then. It would likely just be an exhibition fight against either a captured monster or a nobleman's fighter, and we can get you set up for Vaughn sometime in the next 2 days for certain. How does that sound?
That sounds agreeable. What say you, Rocket? The monster or the noble fighter?
Well,
Do both of you wish to enter together?
well, I was just gonna sit back and eat some crispy lizard bits, but if you want, yeah, I can join you. I like killing monsters. That usually works pretty well for us.
Of course.
But it's up to you. If you want to take it solo, you can do that, or I can hop in. I'm fine.
Well, if you wish to redeem yourself in combat with me, I feel like this would be an appropriate time.
I guess the lizard bits will have to wait then.
An unlikely friendship.
This is Warden's olive leaf or olive branch.
I mean, if you want me in tip-top fighting shape, maybe tomorrow might be better. But if you want me to, I can take a couple rounds in the ring. Sure.
You are arrested, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you might not have the spells you want. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Got it.
I'll be your wingman either way, Warden. I trust you.
Then another night. I understand magic and magelings have their time.
Yeah, I just
Their time of the month.
Yeah.
He wants to pretend to make it fire.
I want to, give you a moment to get out all that necessary fighting juice. So you do you, and I'll just make sure nothing bad happens to you.
You just see Warden blink twice.
Alright. Well, then, if you are able to stop back by either the mansion or the... here, actually, I'll just give you directions to the Under Tavern, is what we call our arena. I'll give you quick directions for how to be able to get there to town, ideally coming from the Bancoin Brothel. you're confident that you can figure out how to get there with these directions, and you can choose to go in the afternoon. He's asking you to be there by 4 o'clock or 5 at the latest to get ready for a fight tonight. And
Okay.
if you want it to be 2 of you, it would be against 2 monsters. 1 of you would be against 1 monster.
We'll just do one for tonight.
Alright. Then you have time, so you can still all go together to the noble family if you'd like. If not, you're welcome to rest and spend the day as you please. Vinny and Silky, you are headed to the Hollingsworth family to meet them. Rockgut, Warden, y'all going or not?
Where you want to go, big man?
What about Lace and the mage? Should we bring her to him? The
Oh, yeah.
child worries me.
I guess we should have a magic user check in on her, make sure everything's all right. It's a good thinking. Let's do that while we have some time.
Is that okay, Dylan? I don't know if
Yeah,
you
that's totally
had
fine.
prepared that. Okay.
So
Yeah.
you two would go to speak to Lace. She's a little bit reluctant to go as she's
Well,
tired.
You're
of Vinny.
kidnapping your family.
I go with them.
You're busy.
Sales call. I mean, you're all still together making these plans.
Mm-hmm.
You two haven't left yet. Lace seems tired. You could definitely go and speak to the Red Wizard without her. If you want to take her to the Red Wizard, then you will need to roll persuasion.
Yeah. No use.
And if Silky, you want Lace to go to the Red Wizard today and you want to help them, I will give advantage to the roll.
Yeah.
If you don't want her to go to the Red Wizard, or you want her to be able to rest today,
I would be wanting her to rest today.
You may be more comfortable going with Silky
Yeah.
tomorrow, maybe. You know.
Okay.
I can try to take her with y'all tomorrow. I just,
you can certainly go to
It's
speak to
been
the
a
Red
lot.
Wizard without her today and just mention what's been going on regardless. That is an option for y'all.
Okay.
But then Lace, it seems, is not going with you today.
We'll go to the wizard today, just talk about what's happening and see if we can set up an audience with him and Lace to do a full diagnostic check.
Sounds good.
Annual checkup.
Then you two start to head to the Red Wizard in Asher's Hill. And Vinny and Silky, you two are headed to the Hollingsworth family in Hightown. You get a little bit lucky. I already rolled for this, and the Hollingsworth family is in their mansion. And you're able to find them and pretty quickly are sent in and ushered in for an audience. You sit before them.
As we're walking over there, I guess I'll just be talking to Silky, and I'll be telling her, I guess you seem familiar with these people. Obviously, they're like family to you almost. I don't really know nobles very well, or people when I wonder sometimes if I will be, as effective in convincing them of anything. So perhaps, I don't know, you talk to them, and if you need me, I can help you out, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking.
You seem more like your people. I don't know.
Definitely my people, but I think having, I know this might seem weird to you, but sometimes I think I'm a little headstrong, a little crazy. So having someone else there for another opinion might help, but I'll take the lead.
All right. I'll keep an eye on you then.
All right. So you're able to get in pretty quickly and speak to them. They seem understanding of your plan. What, if anything, are you going to tell them?
Who are we speaking to in particular? Is it they The son who was missing, or is it the father, or is it all of them? Oh,
You are
let's see.
speaking to Laura and Soren.
Yeah. Sorry, give me a second. I am only seeing a corner.
Got the Barbie looking one, and is it Alexander Vale is the one who is like the outdoorsy guy who went missing, or is that Soren?
Went missing. What do you mean?
Oh,
Did he go-
that's the other family. It's
He
not.
Yeah.
traveled. Oh, sorry,
That is
not
the
not Vale.
ancestor of the Amel family. That's not like
Okay.
not someone that's alive or that you can talk to.
Oh, okay.
Vale is a noble from Starkhaven that is staying as a guest right now, and that's interested in joining the Inquisition.
Yeah.
Did we know him from Starkhaven?
You did not meet him in Starkhaven.
Okay.
You did meet him when you were here, though.
Okay.
Uh, thanks for meeting with us. I wanted to give you I'm just gonna kind of go through, give them an update on everyone's safe and stuff.
So glad to hear that, Sophie. That's... We were
But-
worried for your family, and we're sorry that you had to go through this.
I thank you, and believe me, I wouldn't want this to happen to anyone's family. And you know, through all this, it's bringing some concerns to me that maybe the DeMar family might not be the best to lead anymore if they're allowing this kind of stuff to happen at all in Kirkwald, and even more through the free marches. You know, this stuff never happened under the Amel family. I'm just starting to question if Kirkwall would be better served under them again. What are y'all's thoughts?
Can I roll to gauge their reaction when
Yeah.
they like heard
Okay.
Silky say
You
like
can make inside checks for sure.
the Amel family? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what the DeMars are allowing to happen is just goes everything against what the free marches stand for.
Vinny, I'll let you do it with advantage because you are not speaking.
Yeah.
And it's just Silky focusing on what she's saying. You're literally just listening and only focused on gauging their reaction right now.
Oh.
So you see some reactions, but not a lot, unfortunately. You're getting a little distracted by Laura. She's a pretty one. And what you do notice from her is at mention of the Amel family, there gets to be a little bit of a dreamy, far-off look in her eyes. And you remember hearing from the party, in your
Oh, the
discussion with
garden.
Soros, that she apparently has a little bit of a crushie on Cullen Amel, the young son, who seemed to be romantically interested in another girl, but is known to be a good, somewhat of a dashing, knightly young man. Sort of the classic noble archetype, basically. Alexander Vale has a stern look on his face when hearing your accusations against the Dumars, and seems to be thinking pretty hard about what you're saying. Soren is unreadable, unfortunately.
Concerns, not accusations, please.
Soren, I have always been close with the Amels. Our fathers were very close, and Malcolm Amel has treated me well, and helped us somewhat in positioning ourselves to get some of our businesses back and preserve some of our family's strength after our parents' passing. Cullen is a friend, a close one. We think well of him as well. So I can certainly put you in touch with the Amel family. It pains me to think that the Dumars might be doing what you're describing, but I would never have believed it if you had told this to me maybe even only a few weeks ago. There's some, though, they're dealing with the Grace family is concerning for certain. And if even half of what you're saying is true, I would certainly want to see them, well, at least brought to justice. And Vale will give a firm nod that aye, justice. Half of what they deserve, no doubt. I will be speaking with some of the head members of the Inquisition. I've joined now fully, and I'll be raising some of these concerns with them as well.
I appreciate it. I mean, I've lived in this city for over 200 years and never really got into politics, never really, I was always a bystander, and you've known me for as long as y'all have been alive. I wouldn't be stepping in if I didn't think this was as serious as it is. And I appreciate y'all's help and support. And honestly, we're just assuming that I keep wanting to call it the Ishmael family. What's it again? Amel family even wants to lead. Even has the thought of wanting to lead. So I would greatly appreciate you setting up an audience just for us to talk with them, see what they think.
Of course.
I'm just concerned. I'm very concerned.
Stay here a little bit longer, that we might have some lunch and tea and everything else, and I'll send a runner and see if I cannot get an immediate response on time that we might be able to convene. Laura, Alexander, if you would entertain our guests for a moment, and he'll leave, and you can hear him kind of from the other room talking to some servants, and there's some hustle and bustle, and they send a messenger over to the office of the Amels. As he returns, he'll mention that they do have a major office here in Hightown, overseeing one of the harbors, that they should be able to get a response fairly quickly.
Perfect.
As you all get comfortable, some refreshments and food begins to be brought out, teas, some cakes to start off. And if there's anything else y'all want to discuss with them, you're welcome to. If not, then it's just going to kind of be assumed that you're generally engaging in pleasantries.
Idle chit-chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Retelling the story of us saving my family and how we fought a Hydra.
Make either a charisma or performance check, as you prefer.
Let me see. Hang on. Wait, charisma or performance?
Mm-hmm.
How don't I see?
Performance would be an ability check. Charisma is just the straight roll, basically.
Can I give her advantage somehow?
I was gonna give you a separate opportunity to make a similar check.
I can have
you
her
can either go and help her with her story, or you can, as sort of the luncheon goes, try to better get to know, improve relationships with one of them, that they might be able to, better help you in some of this intricate game of influence and.
I was going to do it where, as she's telling the story, I can kind of act it out, and it's kind of like a front.
You could make
kind
you
of room
could literally
area
make an
there.
illusion with your power, I believe.
Have shadow.
I think I can just make noises.
Do you have you don't have any illusion spells?
No,
Okay.
I was just gonna have my duplicate appear and have us do what Silky's describing.
Okay.
To help her describe
Sure.
it. And
both of you
be entertaining as well.
Both of you make performance checks then.
Well,
So Soki's already got her 14. Vinny? 13.
Hey.
Not bad. They're definitely interested in the story. Laura seems to be loving the story of bravery in the face of danger and saving the family, and is smiling and clapping as Vinny attempts to act out the fight with the duplicate. Alexander gives kind of like a shrewd look at the summoning of a duplicate copy. You hear him mutter under his breath something like some sort of magic focused towards trickery. But also seems to be enjoying or at least interested in the story as it's being told. And after a while, Soren will return the runner will return and say that they can get you an audience this afternoon if you can come within the next 30 minutes to their office. A short one only, but an audience.
Yeah, I mean, that works.
All we need.
All right. We're going to leave this for now while you guys are having lunch before you come back for your audience with the Amel family. And we'll go to the Red Wizards shop, where Rockgut and Warden have ventured. You find yourself before a familiar red door in Asher's Hill. What are you saying, if anything?
Oh, we're already inside, or did
You're
we?
not already inside.
Okay. I would knock and say, "Wizard, we have a question regarding magic and the graces for you."
And who is knocking upon my door?
You've met us. The Warforged and the Gnome. Not many of us around.
I believe we had concluded our business. Is this something urgent?
Urgent enough. It's a new business you might be interested in.
I believe it regards the hags as well.
Very well. So the door opens and you can see the familiar hallway of uncomfortable darkness leading to a light near the end of the tunnel that, as you rise the stairs, you enter again into his laboratory. And he is waiting for you by his desk.
As we were walking down the hallway, I just nudge Rockgut and say, "You tell him the story."
Sounds good. Greetings again, Mr. Wizard. Appreciate the help you've given us in the past. Promise not to take up too much of your time. More just wanted to check in with you and let you know about some new updates regarding the hag and potential issue we might be coming across in the near future that you might be interested in. We recently were able to free our Furbolg friend's family from captivity. They were being transported as slaves across through the city. One of them was a magic user, similar to myself, though seemed to be more like a warlock than as a druid. He was able to have some form of incorporeal step to avoid capture. We chased her to try and calm her down once the fighting was over, and tried to get her back under our safe and sound. But when we finally caught up to her deep in the sewers, we saw that she was friendly, I guess, with another hag. We imagine that this is the night hag? ? The other hag that was in the city, or posited to be in the city. And they seem to be on friendly enough terms. We were able to get the hag to give up our Furbolg friend, though it seemed like she was trying to bargain Furbolg's life for more information. More riddles, more than anything else. And we turned her down and got Lace, the Furbolg, safe and sound back home, but we're worried that the hag might still have her clutches deep inside her mind, or at the very least could pose as an issue for Lace and her family, or even the city at large, if she continues on unhindered. Right now, that's all the information we have, though I imagine in the near future we'll be setting out looking for this hag again, see if we can put an end to her reign as well.
Yes. It is a dusk hag, I believe,
That's right.
that you speak of. They are known to invade dreams. They distribute their dark prophecies and promises to the populace. And they gather in places that they believe will hold important keys to the future, whether that's for their own power or the violence that may be inflicted upon an area. It is an ill omen that one is here at all, but they are not as directly harmful as the night hag, which I sent you after. They are not as likely, for example, to feed so immediately upon humans or others as the one that you slayed for me. However, there is a concerning point that you mention. Do you know how hags reproduce, young gnome?
I didn't know hags existed a week ago, so
Giggity.
consider me ignorant.
Fair enough. Well, theirs is not a race known to take a mate, but one that preys and corrupts other such races, humans being the easiest. And unfortunately, their reproductive process is similar. They will consume children younger than 13 and give birth to a perfect replica of that child. Memories exactly intact. But when it reaches its 13th year of age, it is transformed. It is no longer the young girl or boy. No, I'm sorry, it is no longer the young girl that it once was. But it becomes a newly born hag. Fresh to its powers, dangerous nonetheless. That is primarily where their interest in children comes from, although there are other deals that they might want to strike with an unsuspecting mind. So I ask you, how long was she with this child alone?
That yesterday, probably no more than 10 minutes, if that. In total, I don't know. We were looking to bring her to you today, but we were trying to let her rest a little bit longer after the ordeal she went through. I imagine we'll need to get some more information out of her.
I do not know how to detect this thing. As far as I know, there is not a real difference in a child until they hit the age which they would blossom into a hag. And I know only this much, only what I've said, really, about how they create new hags. 10 minutes seems a short time to me, but I do not know. I would have to do more research, perhaps.
And how would we prevent this transformation?
I have never heard of it being prevented if she has indeed been consumed and replaced. You would be asking how to prevent a hag from becoming a hag. If she has been eaten and reborn in this manner, then she is no longer the young girl that you know.
Well, we'll try and get more information out of her, and if there's a way we could have her brought to you, either for further study or just to get a sense of the possibility of her being transformed, we would appreciate it. Though, from what you've said,
I will do some beginning research into a possible way to detect it and see what I can do. But I can promise no more.
Appreciate it. that much at the very least. We'll have to go to the library, I guess. I say with dread.
Yes. A foreboding destination, Master Gnome, no doubt.
We'll do our own research and try to figure out the facts and see what we can find out from our friend Lace. Let you know if what we find out. I assume you'll be here for the foreseeable future.
I rarely leave.
Thought not. Well, if we learn more, we'll let you know. And if you learn more, feel free to let us know. We'd appreciate it.
Of course.
You got anything else, Warden? You want to ask about the horns? That was kind of a, sticking point recently.
That is a good reminder. My horns. I ran into a wizard from Eberron, from the Grace, Keston Grace. He mentioned my horns had a possibility of... How did he say? He said storing spells or empowering oneself, I believe. Do you know anything of this?
Yes, I've heard of it. It was a savage practice done in older times in Eberron. Mages and sorcerers would infuse horns whose cores were forged of tevium into their skulls. And the power of them would allow them to essentially store spells so that you might draw on it if you had expended your magical means for the day, or pull from them that you might empower a spell as well. I do not know if each could do both, or if it was one or the other. But if that is indeed what you have upon you, then you would be able to use it to refresh, to some degree, your magical might. It is interesting. I wonder if it works better on a warforged, given the natures of your core. My understanding is that the reason it has become less popular in Eberron, difficulties of creation and installation aside, is that over time the tevium will drive the man mad.
Well, I have no madness about me.
No, it is a dangerous crystal. It needs to be treated and prepared with care to be safe for consumption. And I think that anyone that installed such a thing on their head, any living being, was likely asking for side effects. But in a warforged, since your core is so brilliantly shining with tevium, mayhaps such side effects are not a concern.
I don't know, it seems pretty angry to me.
That is just my state of being, Raka.
Nah.
So what is your question then? Or have I answered it?
Would these, or do these actually act as such?
So you wish for me to find out if they actually are the horns that would have been prepared in ancient Eberron, rather than perhaps just decorations?
I believe that would be helpful to me in the long run, knowing more of my origins.
I can do this. But you have asked much of me today, and offered nothing. I would require payment.
And what could we do for you?
There are currently no favors that come to mind. Perhaps a trade not too dissimilar from the one we once performed.
Well, all I have is this Hydra blood. I don't really have a use for it. Maybe there's a spell you want to cast with it?
Hydra blood can be used in alchemy, in the creation of some potions. I know of no spells that use it. Regardless, it is a paltry thing, not enough for what you ask.
I'll take out the whip sword and say, this was recently acquired, if it has any use or interest to you.
He inspects it for a moment. No. No, weaponry is not typically what I prefer. I'll return it to you. If this is all, then I think at this time I am not willing to do this for you. You may return another time. Perhaps I will have thought of some paltry task that I might put you to use for. Or perhaps you will have found something that might better earn my interest.
That seems fair, I suppose.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. You don't really have much that compares to all this crazy stuff you have. But we'll figure something out.
Very well. My doors will remain open to the two of you. From this day forward, then. You have brought interesting news and been helpful. Please do not overuse the welcome I extend.
Understand.
He returns.
You
to
will
the
not.
And sends you two on your way.
Bye. Well, that went pretty well. Sorry about your horns.
Yeah. I have lived long enough to be patient. There will be a time eventually.
Good mindset to have. Who knows? Maybe this next monster you kill will have something interesting in it.
That would be amusing.
Alright, what do y'all want to do? If anything.
What time is it?
Probably like
Middle.
noon for you guys. It's still technically a little bit before when they would be meeting with the MLs, 12:30 or so.
Y'all come join.
Do you wanna?
You
I'll
could go
show.
to Hollingsworth, you could go get ready for the potential arena fight. You're in the district for Steve's shop or just shopping in general if there's something you want to look for. If you have something you want to try to sell, for example, the Hydra blood, if you wanted to sell it as opposed to keep it, you could do that now as well.
I have all this heavy chainmail and the weaponry, and the whip sword.
Yeah, we can go offload some of this. I noticed that my inventory has hide armor and leather armor, so I guess I should get rid of one of it.
Okay, so you'll want to go over to a blacksmith's district and just sell some stuff?
Yeah.
That
Offload.
is A-okay. Let me know what you are selling, and I will let you know the value, and you can just make a persuasion check if you want to try to get a little bit better than that. But if you do a shit job, you might get less. So if you persuade like very low roll, the offer might be changing in a way you don't prefer.
So, Warden, I was thinking maybe tonight during your fight, I could try to help get the crowd behind you. Seem to do a decent enough job with getting Vinny to be a local hero. Last time we were in a fight, seemed like you were due for a little bit more accolades yourself.
I
Is that
have
something you want?
no problems with this as long as he thinks back to his memory of magic explosions. As long as I am not targeted by your spells.
It would all be for dramatic effect, not for combat purposes or anything like that. I can maybe make some, have a fun entrance more than anything else.
That sounds interesting.
I'm thinking about something similar to how we were able to get behind Stalrose during his fight, or during his duel, I guess is a better word for it. I think you're due for a little bit of pizzazz. But
Well.
Of course, I won't be doing anything that would violate the code of the pit, whatever that might be. I don't want us getting in trouble. I'll see what I can conjure up from the stands.
Back to the pit.
Then I am agreeable to this demonstration that you might have.
All right, looking forward to it. What do you think about that, Smith? He look good enough for you? Seem like you would?
Sure.
All right.
It's common items, nothing fancy. Except maybe the
Alright,
whipcord.
so leather armor is going to be 10 gold. I'm sorry, leather armor is going to be 7 gold. A little bit less than what you're going to get for if you were buying it. Chainmail, you will be offered 55 gold per. You have 2 of them.
Mhm.
The glaives, you will be offered 12 gold per. You have a longbow? Where'd you get a longbow? That might
Started
be
with
something
it.
you had. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Whip sword, whip sword, whip sword. The whip sword, they seem pretty interested. They're willing to give you 200 gold for that one.
Pretty good.
I am fine with this. Do you think anyone would want the whip sword?
No, I mean, can't imagine Silky would want it. You seem to be covered.
I would imagine
It's all
the
those-
person that would be most likely to use it in the party would probably be Salros or Vinny. As it, what it would be useful for, you know, aside from just being a short sword, is really the grapple when it's in whip
those
form.
scream. Yeah, they got me for that. They don't need.
I'm gonna see if Warden's smart. All right, Warden's
Warden,
gonna sell
not
a sword.
smart. Okay, so do you want to try to make a persuasion check to change the price on any of that?
Warden doesn't haggle, but if Raka is up to, it's up to him.
Can I just get a sense, a vibe check from the vendors, see if they're trying to rip us off at all. They're kind
What's your passive insight?
of like a million. Passive insight is 13. Actually, my lowest.
No, I mean it. You know, you've gone to the Bronze Hill, a pretty district known for weapons, armor, and the like. Most of the merchants here have a pretty good reputation, just from the general what you gather throughout the city, and they're probably not going to try to rip you off.
These are honest folk trying to make a living. We might as
They're
well
looking
just
to offer you money that they can then try to resell and make a profit.
sure. Aren't we all? So, I have no problem with this sum of money.
Okay,
All right, Warden will sell it.
110,
334 is what I got.
134, 334. Should be 344 because the leather armor is. I'm sorry. It should be 341 because of the leather armor also being 7 gold.
Okay.
Right? 55 for each chainmail, 12 for each glaive. Did I say 200 or 250 for the whip sword? I think I said 200.
Yeah, you said 200.
And then it's 7 for the leather armor.
Okay.
So it should be 341 in total.
All right. I'll split the. I'll give 170 to myself and 171 to Rocket.
So you can hang on to it. I don't need it. I trust you to give it all to Vinny when we see him anyway.
All right. I'll just hang on to the money then.
Just don't get pickpocketed.
Warden's like, I didn't want to give it all to Vinny. He won't give me any money.
Yeah, that's actually true. Warden is not going to give it all to Vinny.
If you tell me that, then I'll hang on to it.
But I don't think he does.
I want to hear Warden's evil plan to start deceiving the group.
Warden's plan.
No, I
Warden's
mean-
plan is just he wants to be able to have his own money.
Yeah, I think that's all his money.
See,
Yeah, he'll. If I was just gonna say,
That's
Vinny
fine.
has been frugal, and I have learned the importance of money in these recent days.
All right. Well, I will hang on to the money. How about that?
I will give you half of the money.
I will
They're
hang on-
gonna fight in public.
Do it. Do it.
I'll hang on to
Little
all.
man.
Wait, I'll do my version of Warden blinks to him. All the money, Warden. I got it.
Are you trying to persuade me, or I guess
No,
we're
no, no.
confused.
I'm trying to imply that I have all the money. It's just
Okay.
wait dead.
Warden doesn't get it and just holds on to the money.
Warden, give me half the money.
Warden gives him half the money.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, 171 to Rocket's inventory, 170 to yours.
Yeah.
Make sure you add it to your inventory properly.
Yep.
All right. Back to the Hollingsworths and the Amell family then. You all are Vinny and Silky.
Hello.
You two are led through Hightown to where are you two? They are. Vinny, are you gonna go with your duplicate, or is it two of you walking through town right now?
No, I'll put him away. If we're leaving the house.
So you're brought to a fairly imposing building that seems to overlook one of the busier parts of the harbor. It stands very tall. One of the more impressive buildings outside of the keep itself that the Viscount stays in currently. And you're led through a very busy portion of it where people seem to be buzzing about into a waiting room that sits in the center of it. A glowing, vibrant blue map of the world. It looks not dissimilar from the one you saw in the library, but it does not have some of the details that I mentioned in the library, as it seems to only show the Eberonian Imperium, the theocracy of Etruria, which sits to the north of it, centered more so on the free marches and focusing on the human countries that you know of Gehenna, of Eberron, and of Etruria, primarily. Eventually, you are ushered in to a large office where Malcolm Momo waits behind a desk. It seems to be quite empty, the office itself, but you can see behind him is these huge glass windows that go from floor to ceiling, sitting almost 20 feet tall. They look out, bringing a lot of sun into the room and showing in its background the busier harbors of Kirkwall. Specifically, you can see what you know to be where is Kirkwall's map? The Balder Harbor, as well as parts of Targon Hold, which is the office of the Viscount itself, not too far away. But primarily Balder Harbor is the one that's behind you. One that you were in not too long ago. And Malcolm sits there waiting. You come in. Welcome. I've been told that you all sought an audience with me at the request of the Hollingsworth family, and you were lucky that I was able to make some time today. Hollingsworth are close friends, and I'm doing this on a favor to them. What can I do for you today?
Quick side conversation. Connor, I guess Connor Dillon.
This can also be like you two before you've gone in here, just like trying to strategize. Be like, what the fuck are we gonna say?
We're appealing to power, right? Or is it morality? I forgot.
I'm trying to recall what I know of this man. I would guess power is probably the way to go.
So
I were to say,
you believe that he wants power. Your reasons can be morality based for why you want the Dumars supplanted.
Mm-hmm. But we know
Mr. Profashi implied that he did not think Malcolm would take an over abundance of convincing, but would likely need an explanation for why you two were interested in this happening at all. and why you're approaching him.
And could you put his name
Sure.
on real quick?
Sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't.
No.
Picture is funny. It looks like he's like picking his nose to me, but he's not. But he's like,
If he was, he would be able to do that because he's such a powerful nobleman that he can pick his nose in front of whoever he wants. And that's why he wears white gloves, so he can pick his nose and then replace the glove.
Okay.
oh, to be rich like him.
Thank you for the audience today, nobleman, a male. I was hoping to talk with you about the current state of Kirkwall. As you were told, my family was recently kidnapped in an attempt to be sold into slavery, and while all of this was happening, we approached what's the head guy's name again?
Marlo Dumar.
Marlo Demar, and he couldn't care less. And for someone who is supposed to represent the free, one might say, the free marches of the while the beacon, it shows great weakness that he could be so easily bought off by members of different countries. Now, I've been living in Kirkwall here for over 200 years, and I don't remember any sort of this kind of things happening during the reign of the Amels. And, you know, it was absolutely devastating what happened to my family, and I wouldn't want it to happen to anyone else's. So maybe it might be time for Kirkwall to return to its former greatness with a family who might actually lead in the right direction of what Kirkwall stands for. And we were seeing what you might think about that.
I'll add on. I'm not from this city like my friend here is, but I know dishonesty and I know weakness when I see it, and it seems this man has it in spades.
It's persuasion with advantage. So that can either be one persuasion roll from both of you, or two from one of you, if you prefer.
I'm a fairly. Do Betsy roll twice or advantage? No, she rolled with.
Roll once.
Okay,
Vinny.
I roll once. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not very persuasive.
There you go.
Well, I guess I should have
Your
let
words-
Vinny.
your
I was gonna say,
Your
like, I
words
don't
were
know if you want to
strong,
metagame it, but you
No,
might
your
want to
words,
let
your
me.
words were strong, Sylvie.
But
Your words were
not
strong,
that.
and Vinny also added on at the end his concerns, and Malcolm leans back, pressing his hands together. That is an interesting proposal that you place before me. I might agree. My father, unfortunately, was held back from his proper position as Viscount, and while Kirkwall has done well under Dumar leadership since, I think that the tides are changing. I had some concerns from his party. I think I remember seeing you two there as well as guests. I recall your outfit in particular. He points at Vinny. Very brave, very brave. Your proposal is one I cannot say that I have not thought of myself from time to time. We could do this thing, I think, perhaps. Would you do you come to me to propose that you would act as my agents in this? Helping me grow to power without appearing to be perhaps the, someone grabbing it or imposing or throwing over my, our dear Viscount.
The last
have-
thing I would want to do is make it seem like, but pushing the scales instead of shoving it is what we're good at, and I think it would be a mutual benefit here.
We have many connections and allies who could be helpful for this.
And agree that the times do need to change.
I agree completely. I think that we could enter into a business arrangement based on this. I am flattered that you thought of me first. It means a lot to hear your opinions on a male leadership, especially. Not towards you, Silky. And I'm sorry that your family went through such under Dumar's drifting gaze, shall we say. How soon there is to be a meeting of the Leadership Council where we will be further discussing what he proposed at that party, and adding on a standing naval and military force to our city. Ones that would take on memberships of the Leadership Council but be beholden to the Viscount. Dangerous proposition for him to gain such power, especially when he shows such questionable leadership.
Yes, that was the impetus for us as well, hearing that proposal at the party.
He's got a grin that he's only kind of hiding, as you
Yeah. Well, I do agree we need to make Kirkwall stronger, but we can only be as strong as the head of Kirkwall, and I don't think the Damars are doing that.
Yes, I agree. Well, then I would think that the most important point might be addressing, or at least counter-proposing, the military points. My thoughts are that it is already being proposed as being too large, and I would see it shrunk in size. The Red Iron Band is 5,000 strong, and he means to recruit another 5,000 to make it an army of 10. One that would be expensive to maintain for the city, and we might better see it shrunk, and perhaps with a different core. Anyone but the Red Iron would be my preference.
Ours too.
Tell me,
We have a connection with.
who do you think I might propose?
Speaking of the alliances and the connections that we have to offer, we have deep connections with the Band of the Hawk, perhaps, and they might be more what you had in mind. We certainly were impressed by their loyalty and their steadfastness, and they owe us a favor of sorts.
They have grown quickly and built something of a name for themselves in the Free Marches over the last few years. I would be willing to meet with them and put their name forward as potential replacements. If I was to do so, and to ensure support was rallied behind them, though, I think that their prestige might need to grow a bit first as well. Perhaps you all could speak with them and either help them or encourage them to accomplish some more heroic deeds, that their name might carry stronger weight. And then I will also be able to I will get with them to discuss the business end of things, how much pay they might require for a year's service.
I think we can do that on our end. And especially, we don't want them, we definitely want them to have name recognition, but, not too full of themselves, as we don't want it to go to their heads and think they could possibly rule Kirkwall better than you could.
Ha! Yes, I would not want any upstart mercenary company thinking that, for certain. But some level of prestige is going to be needed to convince others on the Leadership Council that they are the right decision, especially in lieu of the support the Viscount throws behind the Band of the Red Iron.
I think we can handle that.
Good. Then I think this will be the first task in this agreement. I will see to it that they are put forward as a name that might replace them, and if you all can help them strengthen that name, then we might just succeed.
Let me ask you this. Do you know of anyone else on the council who might need some tasks to be helped with that the Red Hawks could help with?
I will think on this. Is there a place I can reach you so that we might converse more regularly?
I'll write down the name of the tavern.
The tavern?
Or I guess would it be better for the Profaci's house or I guess I'll give him my address.
Okay. So give him you and your family's address.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. I will send messengers here when I have thought of something to call on you. For now, see what you can do with the mercenary company, and we will consider that as the first task.
Perfect.
Wonderful, wonderful. I will have a contract written up that we might be able to all get together and sign into agreements. I think some clauses on, privacy, perhaps keeping what we plan to do secret would be
Discretion.
in order. Yeah,
Discretion.
exactly. You understand, young man.
Yes. Just,
And it would also, of course, come with some financial backing for what you are proposing.
of course. As long
And you
as
remember there's only two of us here, but there's six of us who would be running this for you. Do you remember the rest of them?
No,
The rest of our party?
I cannot say I do. I recognize you. I suppose if your friends were at the party as well, I might be able to recognize them, but I don't remember speaking, so hard for me to put a face to a name I never learned.
It's okay. Just don't be surprised if you come across and there's six of us instead of just us. Is all I'm.
All the better.
We each have a little unique skill set,
Sounds good to me. Very well then. Thank you for your time and your interesting proposal. I think this partnership will prove to be very fruitful.
I believe as well.
All right.
As we are leaving, I will, just as a fun thing, I will disguise myself as myself, but just switch my outfit to the outfit that he mentioned,
Ha!
and I'll wink at him as we leave.
We can get a match.
Handy skill sets indeed. As he leans back in his chair and kind of turns to view the harbor out the window as you two begin to leave. All right.
Is he picking his nose?
Yeah, probably, but you can't just turn around.
What?
Oh, we're back at Rock Gut. All right. The day is now yours. Whatever you guys want to do with the rest of this session is totally free. You can seek out the Band of the Hawk and decide what your next steps with them specifically might be. You can go fuck around in the tavern. You could also just rest. You've technically accomplished a good bit today as far as meetings with influential figures go. It has been a little bit RP heavy and kind of a slower session. But what do you want to do?
Are we doing fight night, or is the fight?
Yeah, fight night is totally an option. You're going to head right there.
Yeah, can we just go to fight
Reconvene and all
night?
go to fight night?
Yeah.
I'm
Now I have
pretty
something that I think of. I can maybe save it for next time. But
That's fine.
I might do one more thing on the way. Ward, we got this great, huge sum of gold. All this gold that I have here. I was thinking, since I almost died a couple times yesterday, might be worth stopping by, seeing if I can pick up a shield or something, kind of in the area, seeing what those prices are. At least, while we're here, make a quick stop in, see if there's something I can pick up to.
Honestly, you could have found one just while you were even selling some of the
Yeah.
stuff. And they're only 10 gold. So
For just a regular shield?
for just a regular shield, it would be 10 gold. Do you want to look for a special shield in some way or a slightly
Maybe a
better
slightly-
shield?
Yeah. Maybe like one step up from common.
Oh man, I don't even have a
Oh my god.
shield +1.
You're not allowed to buy those.
I figured you'd say that.
Off limits.
Those are actually going to be kind of hard to find. I'll tell you that. What you can find, I'll tell you what.
Because Sam knows that Sentinel shields are.
That's exactly what I was looking at in the inventory, and I was going to say, I'll tell you what. I will let you roll, and I will let you go look at Steve's shop as the best
Yeah.
place for a particular magic item. You can roll a 1d20 right now to decide if he will have it.
/R 1d20. So, I mean, I can get a regular shield whenever. There's got to be something fancier out there, right?
Okay,
Ooh.
so as you come in and you describe to Steve what you might be looking for, he's like, "Oh, of course! I know just what you refer to," and he rushes down, coming out with the shield with this strange eye emblazoned on it that's like closed, and if he slots his arm into it, it opens wide. What do you think? Is this what you had in mind? A shield that helps you in your wakefulness and your guard? Hmm?
Can you change the color of the eye?
I suppose I can try, yes. What were you
Alright.
thinking? Like, looks at it. It's a red eye on the shield, but it could be... I could make it green, or purple, or perhaps blue or brown. I don't... What do you prefer?
Maybe a nice deep purple. Match my pants.
Deep purple, of course.
Do you have 2 of them?
No, I'm afraid this is the only one.
Finally, something useful that Steve sells, and he only has one.
Yeah.
One for both arms. Warden. Is the unhittable tank.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me check the price on this. I don't think it's going to be cheap, Rocket.
I imagine 170 is not going to cut it, but
I doubt it.
since I have money,
Then he starts getting a headache
Advantage on.
somehow.
Oh my god, it's so expensive. on
Initiative.
this.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
saw it
it's
too.
really expensive, actually. Like, there's no chance you're gonna afford it. He's like,
I've got a-
this right here with what it does, it's wakefulness, it's the difficulty in making this waking eye. Ooh. And not to mention, and this part is one of the most impressive, you don't even need to attune to it.
That's pretty fun.
I know, right? Very impressive. Yeah, it'd be 18,000 golds. What do you think?
What about the discount?
Consider this a down payment. I'll get back to you in another year. No, it's okay. Good to know, Steve. Well, I guess you can, tuck that away for now, but we'll be back for it
All
at
right,
some
of
point.
course.
Fuck.
Sorry, this is the only one of these I've ever been able to encounter. They're quite rare.
I totally understand. I would hate to.
But if you'd like, I think I know how to make one. But I'll need some specific parts. Those might be easier for you to find if you would rather, if you could help me make a second, I could make it for you or sell this at a much lower price.
Okay.
Because then I'd have a replacement, of course.
Sure, understandable. Do you need Hydra blood?
Well, not for this, but I'd take it in general.
Well, I will. Well, that'll be a separate negotiation. Some point down.
All right, well, I'd pay 40 for Hydra blood.
That's a good start. What can we get you for this shield?
I'll need to. He starts to think to himself and preparing like. Let me stop back by in a day or two, and I will have an exact list of what I would need that you might be able to seek out. How's that sound?
That works great for me, Steve.
All right.
Appreciate doing business, and I will cast Ultra Self into young Steve as we.
Yeah, I just have basically a magical price like reference sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Sentinel shields are
Most expensive item we've ever seen.
Pretty
by far.
valuable. Pretty good for what they are for their rarity.
I will take advantage on perception checks.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, it's not just
And
perception; it's initiative. Is really also what it does, and it does all of that without a attunement slot. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
I'll save up.
I will have Steve do a separate. You can either save up, yeah, if you want, because as now that you're higher levels, you're going to start getting more and more money, or you can go on sort of a quest seeking specific monster parts that I would then treat this as a reward too.
Maybe I'll do that as a.
That's essentially what Steve's going to give you. Is like, I need this, and this, and you'll have to go hunt monsters and find them.
I'll do that while I'm out getting Silky's family back home safe. Side quest.
Dylan, I would say as we are leaving the Amel house, Vinny's very happy with how the negotiation went about as well as we could have thought. He's gonna say offer Silky if they want to have a congratulatory drink at some bar and maybe pregame for the fight club that night, so they can show up just rowdy to watch Rockgut compete with Warden.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you two are going to go have a little mini drinking contest and chat?
Sure.
Alright.
Drink Vinny.
That can be RP for you two if you want to chat, or you can just make some constitution checks as you start to drink. What do you want to do?
Either is good with me.
And just do the checks. Vinny's talking about how he almost won the pie eating contest that one time, even though he turned into a goat, and is pretty confident in himself, even though the numbers might not back it up.
What did my constitution get? So, or those are saving throws, not checks.
No, for this you're just going to do constitution checks. Actually, no, constitution saving throws. You're right. As y'all start to get into your drinking, what is y'all's constitution? Both of you?
Saving or regular?
Just regular.
14.
13.
And Vinny? Okay, so by the time you're on your fourth drink, if you two are trying to get nice and toasty, Vinny, you need to make a constitution saving throw. Sylvie, you're still good.
Doesn't even send us to the ugly harpy.
You're handling your fourth drink pretty well, and as you two start in on your fifth drink, I'll need constitution saves from you both.
drink till you drop.
She have +5, even though we have basically the same con. What the heck?
Good saves. Unfortunately, she's got her proficiency going towards it. One
Oh,
more
I
for
see.
you, Vinny. Ooh, you're starting to get a little tipsy. 5 drinks in.
Good night.
You want to keep going?
I'll go up until the point where it's like I'm like throwing
You're
up
like
and not.
essentially. Okay.
What's
Okay,
that?
so
I think Silky has to carry him.
go ahead and both of you make Constitution saves on your 6th drink.
You know, Vinny's drunk because he's offering to pay for it and be like, "Don't worry about it. We can keep going."
So
I got-
fine. You've been doing this for years.
Yes, this is nothing. This is
6 drinks of this piddly shit beer, no problem. Vinny, you're okay too. You're still tipsy. You're feeling good. Drink 7. Constitution saves. Vinny, at this point, yours is a disadvantage. You're 4 drinks over the top limit.
No.
You're starting to get drunk. You're starting to get drunk for sure.
Where's the fine pit? Is it close?
It's not too far. You know it's close
I'm asking
to the,
Silky. She lives here.
it's pretty close.
All right, you can carry me.
I can carry you.
All right.
All right. 8th drink. Both of you are at disadvantage.
I have not rolled under a 15. Should I be?
You have not. You have not. But it's 4 drinks over your Constitution modifier is when I start giving disadvantage.
A lot of liquid.
I'm good.
You're still
I'm
okay.
fine.
You're still okay. Vinny, you got one more roll. You're still at disadvantage.
You can rally. You can.
He starts throwing up.
Vinny is getting
thought it was
drunk
good.
proper. Silky, you're like tipsy, but not too tipsy. Vinny,
I can
you are.
buzz. I
Vinny,
can still
you are,
drive.
you are getting nice and roasted right now. You're not quite vomiting. You can still walk and see, but you are drunk for sure.
Silky might want to make me stop in case I start talking too loudly about what our plans are.
Silky's more concerned about him throwing up on her. I've already had one baby throw up on time. I don't need a second.
Is it time for the fight?
Is there a 9th round? No, yeah, it's pretty close to the fight. You think you could, if you let
We're gonna
me know,
take
you
a
could-
shot to go.
All right, 9th drinks for both of you. Both of you disadvantage.
Oof.
Oh,
That last shot hits a little different, Silky.
I can do it. I'm good.
Vinny, you know, you're already drunk and you pop that back, you don't feel any different. But you're definitely drunk. Silky,
drunk enough to bet on rock gut.
as you start to stand up and walk about, you can tell that there's a good amount of drink in you, and you're feeling good. You're not like drunk, but you definitely are right on the
I'm
border.
fine.
Vinny, you're quite drunk.
Okay.
Would have
I will-
disadvantage on most checks that you do
Okay.
now.
I will send
I'm
Eliza a
gonna-
message on my feather phone, just like making fun of her for
Excellent.
being drunk the last time. You're like, I'm like you. Hey, what's up?
Oh no, Vinny. Have you been off drinking? I would have hoped you would have learned your lesson from my own state. Next time you'll have to invite me to join.
We're going to the fine pit.
Oh.
Tell her to meet us there.
If you want to go, we'll be there. You know what we look like.
Tell her drinks on you.
Oh, I'm feeling generous, and I'm paying for things. So, you know,
Ooh,
that's how you know I'm drunk.
the promise of a drink. I know my brother was planning on going. I'll have to join him. I'll see you there.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Before you go, barkeep's just gonna be. You had 18 drinks. It's still not much. It's just like drinks is 2 gold, 5 silver.
Give him the money. Give the good sir his money,
I'm
Vinny.
giving him 3 gold.
Thank you.
I'll take-
You're welcome back in my tavern anytime. And away you go. And let me bring everyone to the Under Tavern. So normally, when you're in the Fighting Pits Warden, you are just gonna be like rolling a general like DC check to beat it. So this is the first time, or for any fights that are like, you know, hype.
Just
I will
Yeah.
say that we'll actually do the fight. Let me get everybody.
So what happens if I fail? I just like lose the battle if it's a DC thing.
Yeah. Most of their fights are going to be non-lethal. You would just lose the battle. Normally that would mean that you lose your entrance fee. In this case, since you're not going to have to pay an entrance fee because you are
Yeah.
being subsidized.
Yeah.
You lucky bloke. You will not lose any money, but you will not win any money. And it's just like a time-consuming thing, really. So you'll
Oh, so it's
lose
just
out
like
on
an
the
access-
opportunity to be in and win money from the
Oh,
ongoing
okay.
fights for that day. This is
Could I
considered a
sponsor
downtime
myself?
activity that you can do. You're
Or is that too
you're
late?
being sponsored by the Profashi family.
But I wouldn't get any money from winning
No,
this
you
fight,
you
right?
will still get money for winning this fight.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It'll be split. So like
Yeah.
you won't get all the money that you would have gotten
Right.
since they're paying for you, but you'll get money.
Sure. Okay.
And you won't have to pay. All right. So I don't fully have this place ready to go, in just that I don't have like an audience or crowd here. So
That's
you're gonna need to theater of the mind a little bit, but you are led down through the back room of the smaller tavern, not too far from the Bitcoin brothel. You come down into an area that is full of people and smoke. You see Ricky waiting nearby, and Eliza giving a hover. You two actually are lucky in that you encounter. I'll say that the whole party reconvenes here, and that everyone is able to join back in at this time. Morteza seems to be complaining a little bit that he had to leave his zombies in the sewer as the guards were outside of the warehouse. He had to hide them. He's like, I wasn't even able to revive all of the skeletons that I made. Where are their tokens?
But the guards didn't see him.
Guards did not see them.
That's good.
Actually, I should rephrase. What really happened was the guards didn't see him because Salrus was there, and I let Salrus roll a persuasion to distract the guards for a time. And he rolled like a 19, so he was fine. And Morteza was able to get in there and get the zombies down to the sewers with the skeletons. So as all of you enter, Ricky will welcome you and say, excited to have you all here. It looks like you can see some people are partaking in fire spice and various narcotics and drugs in this section of the tavern. Can you see the map? I think I moved you over here.
Yeah.
So this is sort of the intro tavern. It's got a seedy element to it for certain. And you can see a little bit further on what seems to be beautiful marble work. It's a little bit uncommon for a place like this underground. Certainly a lot better than some of the other underground parts of the city that you have been in or seen. With that, Ricky will be asking, so how many of you are going to be partaking in a fight tonight? Just you, Mr. Warforged, or some of your companions?
I believe it will just be me.
I'm here to watch.
I thought you were gonna fight, Rongut.
Oh no!
Yeah, we were gonna bet on.
I appreciate the sympathy, but I'm not ready for a fight today.
I'm feeling pretty loose. Maybe I'll join in later if there's a tag team fight or something, or if Warren, gets knocked out early.
Lean over to Warden. I don't think you want her on your team right now.
Well, normally our fights are more exhibition style. We have some interested gladiators that enter from noble families. We have monsters that we try to capture. If you can avoid killing the monster while besting it so that we can reuse it, that's preferred. But if you do kill it, it's not really the end of the world. And we would release something a little bit stronger, or more of them, if it was going to be two of you. If it's just one of you, then it's a matter of how hard of a challenge you're looking for. How hard of a challenge are you looking for?
I would not enter this if it was a weakling. It needs to be a worthy opponent.
Okay, fair enough. Well, and he brings you over to the arena. As you go, you'll see this shrine. It looks kind of like Savas, but made in this beautiful imagery with glowing blue rune and rock underneath it. And he has these two radiant wings that you've not seen on him before. And Ricky will kind of like wave at it. Vaughn asked us to put that in here. It is quite lovely. It adds some good sort of ambiance. But come along a little bit further, and he motions for some people to move away from one of the viewing areas, and you can see out into the fighting area. It looks like it's got a lot of different various layers. It is about 80 feet lower than where you are currently stood. Most of the viewing area has about an 80-foot drop and a small moat also in between it and where the actual arena is. And you can see that it does. There's stairs up and down, some platforms, some verticality that is hard to show from a top-down map.
Yeah.
But you've actually seen this map before from a different perspective, Kathan. Do you recognize it or no?
Let me see. I feel like it's something Dragon Age related. No, I don't know.
It is the Under Tavern from Divinity 2, Original Sin.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit! It is
Yes,
nice.
it is.
Okay,
What is
got
it?
it. Oh, so that's a
it's from video game.
platform.
Sam, you'd recognize it too, actually. You played that game.
Got it.
I played
Okay.
through it.
So if that helps you picture what you're looking
Yeah, it does.
for. All right. So we have. You said you wanted the challenging opponent. Okay. Let us know if you need us to pull you out for your safety. We do not have a way to keep these monsters from killing you if you're going to lose, but we'll do our best.
If I die, I die.
That is the spirit for sure. Well, then you all are able to take your stances, or take your seats while Warden you get brought down into the arena. You can start pretty much wherever you want, while the Profashis will bring you all over to a nicer viewing deck. You can see some distinguished figures started to gather around, and you all can see pretty well. As I said, you're about 80 feet over.
I'm pestering Rockgut for those snacks.
Eat my lizard bits.
Give me some.
Get your own. They're right
Get
over
'em.
there.
Ricky gives like a wave to a waiter, and more food and snacks are brought. Of course, as this is their tavern, and he's making sure that you guys are getting served, including a round of drinks for everyone.
Oh no.
Perfect.
More constitution checks.
That's where the real fight's
If they
happening.
choose to drink, it would be Constitution saves from Soki and Vinny.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna make Vinny drink.
Make
These
it saves.
lizard nuggets are thirst-inducing. I have no choice.
That cave salt you don't get up here very often. It's nice to have a little taste of home, you know.
All right. So he said he wanted a strong one, right? Oh, nice job, Vinny. You're good.
I'm good.
Just
Are there lots of people out?
street burns a little bit. It's warming your chest, and you didn't realize that you needed a drink quite like this until now. It's a little different than what you were having up top, and it's actually helping you slide smoother into your drunken state, while Silky has begun to regress into a similarly drunken state, unfortunately.
I win.
And you start to hear aloud, like, all right, everyone, we're going to be getting started with our festivities now. In this corner, we have Warden the Warforged, a great fighter who's asked to be able to face nothing but the strongest of monsters that we might be able to show against him. And so we'll be pitting him against a terrible creature that we captured not too long ago, a thing of rudimentary intelligence that we prefer not to see in civilized places such as this. And you can see there's this cage that's coming from, you kind of see the rubble that's a little bit north of you, Warden. So there's a cage at that end that stands very tall. and it begins to open up, and from it you can hear this loud coom, 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 coom. As from out of it, barely coming out of the darkness, you can see as one head begins to emerge on this lumbering figure, and then a second head appears as it takes another step forward, and you see a large Etin before you.
Nice.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Dylan really wants to hit me.
hey, I said, do you want
No,
to do this? You want to have the hard fight with one on
It's
one?
totally fair. It's totally fair.
How many people are watching? Is it like
It's decently full.
Okay.
Warden doesn't quite have a reputation yet. This was on short
Yeah.
notice, so it's not packed. But there's some regulars that are definitely interested in paying attention.
it's more than like a private karaoke room? It's like a
Mhm.
it's like a small theater.
I mean, do you see like the seating that's all around?
Yeah.
The map.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
That's essentially where people are all sat. You're in like the nicer viewing area, but there is stadium seating all about.
Oh, I see. I
That
see. I
has
see. I see.
that has people within it. Yeah. Like way over here, while the arena for
bleachers.
fighting is essentially this part.
Yeah.
All right.
Right when Warden sees 2 heads, he slams his shield and laughs and says, "Ha! 2 heads, more for my god."
Roll
Hey,
initiative,
Dylan.
Warden.
Yes. Actually, I'll see how initiative goes first.
Oh wow.
How far is this?
I like
I
his
do-
I like his hairy belly.
Dylan, can I do one thing as Warden is rushing?
Sure. What do you want to do?
Can I cast Conjure Animals above Warden in a non-combat approach to try and conjure Fey spirits like thunder, and just like have lots of spirits running with him as he runs at the Etin,
Sure. So you're trying to make like a thunderous atmosphere for him as he charges forward.
like the horse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That totally happens. Can you describe it, or do you want me to?
So I will, seeing Warden start sprinting, finish up my spell, and kind of surrounding him and kind of enveloping him like smoke almost are just this herd of fey horses, blood red eyes, and just like streaks of fire running off of them. And as Warden approaches the end, they will all kind of disperse and allow the spectators to focus solely on the combat in front of them.
All right. So Yetin is gonna just advance to here for when initiative happens.
Sure.
And it is your turn, Warden. Just some notes. This is you'll be running downstairs. You're not gonna like lose movement on these, but just so you
Okay.
know, like this is
Right.
not just straight. Like this is up and down. And these little platforms do have ladders and the like that go up to them. Not sure how relevant it's going to be when an Eden is what you're facing, but if you were fighting a human, for example, they'd be able to climb up things and get like advantage
Right.
on you, or not advantage, but some distance and some verticality, potentially like pushing you off or jumping off a ledge or something like that.
Sure.
All right, it's your
Yeah,
turn. What are you doing?
I would just run up to him
Okay.
and I'll use my vow in the same thing where I said like 2 heads. I'll just make that my vow thing.
All right, so charge forward with this thunderous herd of horses at you, and right as you're running up to him, you hold your hand out and put this magic on you, and he immediately, as you come into him, he begins to attack you on his turn. So you're like running forward, and he instantly swinging forward with this great battle axe that he's wielding. In one hand, you can see he has a battle axe and a morning star, one in each hand. And the first attack he makes is with actually the morning star, which is in his right hand. He swings it at you, missing as you duck below it in your initial charge, and he comes around and tries to bring the battle axe down upon you. Wow. Two horrible whiffs as his battle axe slams into the rock floor next to you, and it is your turn again as you come out, sword blazing. The Eden smashes, and he's actually going to move slightly. I'll say he goes like, I don't want to just be like he's saying he's going to like walk about as he's taking these swings at you, and he'll be right there. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm gonna try and smash him. Where?
Get
Why
him.
did that? What the heck?
Oh,
Why did?
Oh no.
what'd you do?
Why did that? No, it went to D&D Beyond, but not. I tried to roll it with the advantage, but whatever. I got a 20, but
Beyond.
it's
22
fine.
I've
still
had
hits?
that happen before.
That's devastating. That happened with a net 22 as well.
It's
But
fine.
first attack hits.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna also do Hunter's Mark like I normally do.
That's fine.
And then why not? We'll smite. We'll smite on that hit, and we'll see if
Okay.
the next hit. And
So
then
14.
Sorry.
Next one
Bye.
hits as well.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll
then
damage
we-
twice. Give me one more Hunter's Mark and give me however many smites you're doing. Well, you're very
Dose.
consistent. You're oddly consistent with your damage. Oh my god. Okay, so you
Mess him up.
dealt 28 damage, 35 damage, 49 points of damage in one turn.
Yes, sir.
What the
Jesus.
fuck, Caitlin?
It's a
I
fact.
didn't want
paladin.
to play with us.
As you
No, I need
instantly, like, this creature which just, like, swung its battle axe at you, which you ducked below and kind of, like, stumbled forward a bit. You just go right for the hamstring, getting this searing blow as crackling energy comes around. And you bring him low for a second. As he comes low, you slash him across the chest with your second strike. As it reels from you, and the crowd's like, "Oh!" I haven't really seen an Etten get manhandled quite this easily in some time, it seems. He groans, and this time he's gonna try to hit you again. Nope. Why do I even bother? How have I rolled 3 ones?
Negatory.
He's wildly flailing with his weapons. You block the battle axe, sending it upward with your shield to make sure that it doesn't hit you, and you are able to duck back from the morning stars yet and take a step forward a little bit more to the stairs, seemingly very worried from the wounds you've inflicted on it. It's your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna hit him once.
Yep.
Okay, one of those probably hits.
Yep.
We'll do that.
Bro, fucking chill.
It's like,
Are y'all seeing this?
It's not fair, man.
It's not fair.
And then we'll
This is
do.
what I have to balance combat around.
uh,
Oh my god, he's fighting again.
Does he look like he? Because you said you don't want him to die, so does he look close to death after the first hit?
Yes. He looks pretty hurt.
6 seconds.
He looks
in.
pretty hurt, yeah.
And then I'm gonna try and kick him to like topple him.
push
After
him
the
down.
He
first
looks,
the
he,
stairs.
looks like, he looks like he could take another. Looks like he could take another blow from you, but it looks like it's close. And as you attack, you can just be like, "I choose for this blow to not be a killing blow when you strike." him
Okay.
down.
well,
All right, I'll do that.
Mechanically, you can try to take it,
Mechanically,
though.
I
Yeah,
want.
you hit him again. Go ahead.
I'm
13. Roll your hunter's mark. He's barely standing still.
All right, I'll leave it. I
You
didn't say
gonna
it's
smite him or
smite, so
what?
I didn't say I did, so
That's
whatever.
He's gonna very weakly take one battle axe swing at you, and then attempt to run away. As he's taking a lot of damage and he's pretty clearly freaked out. You are impossible to hit, so the battle axe doesn't hit, even though he's got a lot of damage. It's just
19
that
would have
he's-
been.
Do I get the
It's just that
opportunity?
the
attack?
highest I've rolled on an attack. Yeah, you get an attack opportunity. Highest I've rolled on an attack is you hit him. Yeah, he's he's down. He's down. How would you like to do this?
I'm gonna go for both heads because
Jesus
he was a
Christ.
coward.
it.
Or so you are gonna kill him.
Yeah, I mean he was
He's
a
a
coward.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So as he tries to run, you sink your sword down into his fucking like Achilles heel, stopping him in his tracks, and ripping it free. You jump forward onto his back, which is like as he's like falling forward and tries to put a hand down on the stairs, going down to catch himself, and you chop both heads off in one fell swoop. Body.
I'll grab both heads and throw them to the ground and say, "A coward deserves no mercy."
All right, so
Then
his
he's
body
cheering
falls
maniacally
forward.
with Beaver
onto the
nuggets
stairs as he like
coming out of
slides
his
forward, and you retrieve the 2 heads from the bottom of the stairs, holding them up. No mercy for the coward.
No
Throw him to
mercy.
the side. The crowd is fucking going wild, and Ricky and Eliza both are clapping, very impressed from the stands. Like, holy shit! I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided.
Yeah, neither did we. Yeah, the Eden actually took a swing this time.
Jesus Christ, Warden.
You sure you don't want to give me a +1 shield?
You did roll like mostly natural ones that entire time.
Yeah, that's true. You could have hit me pretty hard.
If I had, I mean, obviously, like I need to get like a 13 or a 14 to hit you with +7,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah. So I was rolling bad, but Jesus Christ, the damage you pumped into him was what was blowing me away, to be honest. Oh boy. Well, you didn't take much hit. Do you want to fight again?
We get another round of lizard nuggets.
Yeah,
Is
the
that
craft-
offered to Warden?
As you, it would be like, you've come out and they're cleaning up, and you see a team of people that try to drag this body of an Etten out, like trail of blood, 2 trails, I guess, of blood. They're trying to drag this Etten out of the arena. You're given, even just on your way out right off the bat, you're given 50 gold. For
Would I
wings.
get a short rest between it? Is my question.
An hour rest, basically?
Yeah.
Nancy is the crowd.
They could do that. Yeah, they'd rather you go back in right away, and or even being like, yeah, if you want to take some friends in this time, that's fine. We want to just give them another great fight right off the bat. But if you want an hour rest, you could do that, and they'd try to see if they can't find a noble fighter in that time to go in.
Well, I'm ready to fight. That took little out of me.
Okay. Anyone joining you this time? Any of y'all want to go have some combat?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you didn't need any help. Do you want help?
How much disadvantage would I be at if I fought?
Mega.
You're pretty drunk.
Nick
Yeah.
is tempted, but he knows he's not.
You would be at disadvantage on your attacks. Unfortunately, your AC is fine, but you'd be at disadvantage on attacks. So if you were recklessing, it would just be a straight roll. As you've been drinking.
I think I'll hold off tonight
As you wish.
because I burp.
Some more beaver nuggets.
I mean, I'm just surprised that the concessions here had something that resembled food from back home. I'm in my happy place. You're doing a great job, Warden. Keep it up. I'll keep eating in your honor.
I'm like, oh yeah, a lot of the things we catch actually are from the Underdark. You're from there, right, Master Nine?
Close enough, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We make a point of trying to go after some things down there. It's a lot more exciting for the crowd.
Oh, if you're ever going on the hunt again, let me know. And I did some tracking back in my day,
That'd be helpful.
months ago.
All right. So you want to fight again without a short rest?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
Go get him, Kathan.
Do it.
If Morteza has some snacks, I'll try to steal some from him. But
Warden needs to be broken eventually.
I mean, I'm not gonna try to break you.
Hey,
Sure, I'm gonna try to hurt you.
while we're waiting for Warden to get set up, here's the money we got from selling some knickknacks we got. But if you want it, you're gonna have to give me another round of nuggets.
were you talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't know where you get these from. Where did you get these?
Well, just around the corner over there. There was a guy, little cart. He might have gone around the pit. But I don't want to go find him, basically.
I'm like fixated on the gold. I'm like, where did you get this?
I sold some stuff. We, some stuff that we
Jesus Christ.
got off the.
You want to fight? I'm gonna give you a fight.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Warden's bloodthirsty. I don't think he's smart.
Hey, you'll be fine.
I'm too drunk to question it, so I will
You're level
just
6.
accept
I'm just
Sam's
hitting you
story.
with whatever's happened. And it's not like I
And
didn't
take
hit you
the-
last time. So next up, we're gonna have a great manticore that we were able to capture. We've had its wings slightly clipped, but it can still
Oh my
fly a bit.
God.
So be careful, audience members. It shouldn't be able to get up to us. No worries. There's this. You can see that there's some damage to its wings. It looks like it could still get up a little bit, but it's probably not going to be able to get to the heights that it normally could. And this horrific creature struts out. It's a terrible looking monster with this dragging spiked tail coming along behind it, claws and teeth, unpleasant eyes. Let me see if there's anything else that is an interesting description for it. No, not really. It's got a little bit of a humanoid-ish face. It reminds you somewhat of the dogs that you all encountered with the body of a lion as it comes forward and stares you down from across the arena. Roll initiative. This is going to be our last fight, by the way. Alright. Your turn.
All right.
I'll be doing the same thing again as he begins his charge.
Yeah.
Forces
Ward
right.
will just yell, hopefully you are less disappointing. And he'll run up and then just recast his hunter's mark.
Okay, this one's going to try to bite you. And then take 2 claw attacks at you. As you charge forward. Nothing hits. As it's one point, its claws rake across you, but aren't able to pierce through your armor. And it's seeing this is going to begin to flap its wings, and it flies 50 feet
Damn.
to. You get an attack of opportunity on it.
Oh, okay.
It'll fly. It's actually just going to perch up on this, taking up most of what seems to be a pillar that's about 15 feet up a ladder that you were standing near. So 15 feet up and yeah, so 30 feet. That's plenty. You get an attack
Okay.
opportunity as it
Oh, sorry.
begins to
Just the
fly
one.
away from you. Just the one.
My bad.
But I mean, is that advantage, right? You vow of immediate? No.
No, I only have vow for every short rest, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. Then,
Yeah. Just
Unfortunately, that does not hit you take the swing at it as it twists away. You graze its leg, but not enough to bite through and do any damage. And it is your turn.
My mouse is like double clicking. I don't know why. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Can I? Is
You
it like
can
occupying?
reach there and then quickly climb up, but you're gonna have a hard time hitting it from below.
I yell at Ricky.
You could
say-
try to force your way onto the same spot. I'll say, and it's gonna
I'll
be a
yell at
strength
Ricky
check
and
against
say,
it.
"Can I break this?" And see what he says as I
You
walk
try.
up to the.
It's pretty sturdy, and it would take you a little bit of time to break it completely. You could like easily break the supporting pillar right here, but you're not sure if that would be enough to make it completely fall, or if you would need to break the pillars that are like kind of all throughout it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So you
I'm
could try.
just gonna
You could
try.
try to break it, and Ricky is like anything goes as you yell at him, but you realize that it might take you. Well, you could hit it once and then walk over and try to hit it twice, or try to hit it once and see if you can do enough damage, even with just a one blow, to knock it all over.
No, I'll
Good
just if I see 4, I'm just gonna walk up. I thought it was just the one pillar.
Yeah, no. They made it sturdy. There's this huge monster sat on it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, so you climb up and you can make either attack from disadvantage from the ladder at the creature, or you can try to make a strength check to force your way onto the same position. An opposing
gonna try
strength check against it.
I'm gonna try and make a strength check to get up there.
Okay. You muscle through it and are standing on the platform with it and have your normal attacks. You're kind of like below its wings.
All right.
As
so,
it tries to force you off, but you're able to push back with your shield and make your way up, and you stab forward at it once, glancing off its armor, but you bring it down hard for the next time you deal 15 points of
I
damage
will-
to it.
smite it.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know how to.
You upcasting smite,
Yeah.
so you deal
Yeah.
35 points of damage.
Do
Yes.
it.
Okay. Rip off
It,
a
it looks pretty bloodied as you do this. Pretty clearly very bothered by what just happened, and it is going to try to bite you, dealing
That
5
hits.
points of damage.
Yay!
And then it is going to begin to fly again
Use again.
and flee over to this pillar now. You get another attack of opportunity at it.
Alright, give me 1 second.
As now it looks very wary of you. That hits.
Alright, definitely I'm gonna outcast this smite. 'Cause
Okay, 9
Warden
points of damage.
is tired of running after this thing.
13, 11, 24 points of damage?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, it looks really bloody, but it's still barely alive. It looks like one more blow would be enough to finish it off, and it's clearly wary of you. It has no intentions of getting near you if it can avoid it, and as it lands on this pillar, it whips its tail at you twice as spikes fly from it. And it attacks you from range with these spikes. Neither hit,
So that's
though.
still during its attack, right? During its turn?
Mhm.
Okay, alright.
And now it is your turn.
How far can I get with dashing? Like here?
So you're on a platform that's 15 feet up. So if you
Yeah.
jump over right here, you're gonna potentially take some falling damage.
That's
And
fine.
if you're dashing, you can get. And he's on another platform. Is the thing like
There.
it's at a similar height to you. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say you can get to there. That's fine.
Okay. I would do that.
All right, go ahead. Make a dexterity check. Okay, you take 1d6 falling damage, bludgeoning. And so,
Okay,
as
do you
opposed
want me to roll?
As opposed to 2d6. No, I'll do it. It's fine.
Okay.
Probably gonna take none. Nope, you take 3. And the creature's like at you from below, and it's flying over now to this pillar as it begins to send spikes raining down at you from above. As it does so, you can see that its spikes are starting to get depleted as it continues to fire them at you. It doesn't look like it has a finite amount, but it looks like it's got plenty more still. You take.
So which one hits?
Well, there were 3 attacks.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it does it a few times.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I think
Oh.
20 does not hit, right?
No.
Bullshit.
Oh.
Fucking
So
bullshit. 20 doesn't hit.
2.
So you take 11, 16 points of damage, 10 points of damage in total as you
Okay.
catch some of the spikes on your shield, but unfortunately some of them rain down upon you. They don't pierce too deeply in your armor, but you do take some damage. Manticore is still being very cautious. So this ladder, unfortunately, is much higher up. This is the highest one at the lowest point that you're looking at. It's like a 25-foot climb. And
Okay.
I'm doing everything I can with this creature, doing anything in its power to not be near you after the damage you've done to it. You can see it's very hurt. I'm barely moving still.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Got any spells
Well-
left to Misty Step, or you use them all to find?
No, I should have just missed a step, but Warden just wants to hit.
I don't know.
Warden says, "I tire of this. We'll try something different," and he'll cast Compelled Duel.
Ooh.
It's yeah, let me link it if I can do that. There we go. So basically, it's trying to like force you to stop running from me.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, let me make the wisdom save. Failed.
Nice.
As you scream at it from the base of the stairs, or the base of the ladder, and this divine might of Savas fills your voice, and your chest glows ever so slightly with a blue tint coming from it. And the creature's eyes, you can see, go from this terrible yellow to this glowing blue that flashes around them, then disappears, and it yells down at you from the thing, like claws digging into the wood, and it leaps, lashing out at you with claws in its teeth as it comes down and trying to land upon you.
281 hits though.
5 points of damage as it lands next to you over here. And it's your turn. That was a good move.
Finally,
That's cool.
a good battle, clean and even. As
That is.
Okay.
That kills it. How do you want to do this?
I'm just
It
gonna.
had like 8 hit points left, and I was like, no chance it gets within warden's range. I can avoid it.
It's. I'm just gonna spike it through its head. It's not a worthy foe to.
After it like clawed at you once and then bit at you once, you put your sword up directly through its head, coming out of the back of its skull, and it falls before you. And yeah, you've earned quite a name for yourself. In total, your winnings are going to be 80 gold.
Nice.
Hey.
I might have to
Warden.
nerf the gold values of pit fighting.
They're paying him to kill their animals for him. It doesn't really make sense. It's just
Hey, only 1,000 more fights, then we can afford that shield.
Hey,
As I walk up to Ricky, I say, "I'm sorry about your monsters. They were cowards. I will hold back next time."
I think you're expecting a little
No,
bit too
well-
much out of the beasts that we collect here. They're not men. They're going to behave in the way that lets them live. But those were impressive fights. I think the people abound here are going to tell some stories, and hopefully, I'm sure they'll be excited to see more of you.
hey, Salrose, maybe you should write a song about Warden. And
Oh, I'm already composing, my friend. I'm already composing, worry not. Alright. Is there anything else you want to do this session? If not, we're going to call it. Because I think my parents just got home anyways.
Yep,
Good. For
I
you.
think I'm good.
turned in. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot especially planned, and I know it was going to be a little bit RP heavy. Next session, if you were going to go talk to the Band of the Hawk, you would find out what, and would be able to get started on quests to get them some prestige, or help them essentially accomplish some things that would take you outside of the city, and also potentially could coincide with taking Silky's family home as well.
Sounds good. We
Is
got
there
what we
anything in
needed.
particular y'all want to try to do next session, or
I think
aside from that, or just in general?
Rocket's next thing will be helping. He'll probably want to help the family get back, mostly so he can go hang out with the druids for a bit.
Very fair.
So he's kind of just bumming around town, helping out anybody else he can. Until then,
Yeah.
All right.
you want?
I want to fight.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, sorry you had went and gotten drunk beforehand.
Sorry.
All right,
My bad,
I
my
would have had a
bad.
few more monsters that I could have just thrown at a group of y'all.
That is a personal.
That would have been really funny if we could have done that.
You still could have. Probably.
Hop in the fight and just miss everything.
Yeah.
I would have fallen down the ladder 80 feet.
Warden
and died.
like slowly kills everything in the room while everyone else is drunk. Anyways,
But yeah,
Love it.
we will.
that was fun. Glad we got to do everything that we had like goals and we were able to accomplish them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Connor, you got the 151 in your inventory.
Is that the number? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank y'all so much. If
I will
there's
not be
anything-
here next time.
You won't be
Just,
here next Sunday?
Nah, I'll be in the Bahamas.
Hey, that's
Ooh.
awesome, man. Have fun.
We'll just leave Warden in the fighting pits. Then.
Yeah, there you go. Just roll me fighting pits. You can control my.
Honestly,
character.
that's probably what I will do. Is
Yeah,
while they're in
Making machine.
Kirkwall, until you leave Kirkwall. If they leave Kirkwall, I'll say you go with them. But
Yeah,
you're just making fighting pit rolls.
that sounds fair.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna be missing Warden and Clark because of finals in the Bahamas. One of those sounds a lot more fun than the other.
Finals in the Bahamas.
So if anyone else is missing, we'll
Really
probably
hard, that's probably true.
if anyone else is missing, we'll probably look to reschedule. But if not, then it will be next Sunday normal time.
Cool.
Thank
Nice.
y'all so much.
Yep.
Hope you have a good
Hey,
one.
Guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Yep.